Welcome to day 16 of my VW Touareg ownership. I've already found something that needs to be replaced, so stay tuned to find out. And we are back.
We are back.
Day 16.
Sooner than I expected we'd be back. What's going on here?
2 weeks.
Yeah.
I really can't complain about much. The car has been awesome. The SUV, I should say.
Yeah.
Drives amazing on the highway, on the road. It's really smooth, actually. Much smoother than I expected.
And quiet, too.
Yeah. So it's been pretty fabulous in that sense. I do have two complaints.
Okay.
The first one being, I realized there's no dipstick.
No dipstick?
There is no dipstick.
So it's all electronic.
It is electronic, and what you have to do is we're gonna have to pause this. Of course, something came up here. Media. Yeah. What you got to do is hit the car function, then go to service.
Okay.
And there you go. The oil level is okay. And it shows that it's at max. So I don't know if I'm over or not.
Wow.
But
Put your faith in that sensor, bro.
I know, yeah. Apparently, actually, I did do a quick Google search, and online people say you can buy a dipstick, and there is a provision for it. So you just have to take the little plug out of there and slide a dipstick in. So that might be something I do. Now, the reason why we're shooting this video today is the real shortcoming that I found are the brakes.
The brakes, yeah.
So the brakes do have a slight shudder to them, but more importantly, they don't actually work very well. There's very little initial bite.
Okay.
So if you're driving on the highway and somebody slams on their brakes pretty quickly, I found like I'm almost in a panic mode right away. I'm like, whoa. I need to react way harder, and you really got to push on it and continue to add pressure to get that bite to come in for this SUV to stop.
You're also slowing 50,000 pounds of German steel here, PT.
It is a pretty heavy vehicle, but I'll show you right now. So if I just bite into it, see the nothing, and I'm pushing pretty hard there.
Yeah, wow. That didn't even set off the tension.
No. I mean, it's hard to communicate through video, but it right away just does not have that bite that I'm used to with a lot of the vehicles we have, and it doesn't inspire confidence.
It's soccer mom brake pad bite. They don't want too much bite. Look at this smorgasbord of parts, everyone. When PT does a brake job, he does not play games, and he's gone with some very high quality components, as I'll show you now, including these Stoptech sport rotors. We've used sport rotors on lots of our street and track cars, and we found them to be extremely durable, made of really high quality materials, and they come in this installation ready finish, as they call it, meaning they don't have any oil on them. You don't have to wash them before you install them. It's obviously a rear since it's got the integrated drum on it, but as you can see, they're slotted, ventilated. These are really good rotors that should last a long time on this. And obviously Pete's gone for this because this thing's gonna tow, so you need good brakes for towing, not something to play around with. For brake pads, he has gone with Stoptech Streets, which will give him all of the quietness and sort of ease of use characteristics that you expect with a good street pad. They come with like these backing plates which prevent squeaking and vibration. Comes with all this hardware, which obviously you're going to want to replace because that's going to be old on a higher mileage vehicle like this. And these should just plug in there and give you that initial bite back that you want, without all the added sort of downside of a more aggressive pad that's going to be dusty and noisy. So these should be a nice civilized street setup. And speaking of civilized, Pete wants to get rid of these horrendous, rusty old...
They're terrible, look at them.
They are. The seats are all like flaking apart. And who likes wheel bolts less than we do? Nobody. Nobody likes them less. We like them they're so low on our list of likes. Now we are replacing them with this wheel stud conversion kit from Rennline. Very similar to what we did on our M3 drift car. We are ditching the wheel bolts and installing these studs, which include nice open-ended nuts.
DP, I thought you said you weren't going to get dirty. What's going on here? Did you have a change of heart?
I realized two things. First of all, it was going to take all day for this to happen, and I want to get it home before it's dark, but I also looked at this filthy car and I thought, it needs some love.
Well,
why is your truck so dirty?
Man, well, I use it every day. It's still winter. Come on.
Well, clearly you do use it every day, and you drive through construction zones.
No.
Look at the nail in the tire there.
Oh, come on. These are brand new Contis.
Fully in there.
Oh.
Murdered.
Of course. Well, on that note, I should say these have been absolutely fantastic. Like these tires run really quiet.
They run very quiet.
Yeah, but they're really stiff to a certain extent, so they provide that performance, which I really like.
Yeah, they don't have that real squishy feel that winters tend to have. I borrowed this, well actually you borrowed my truck and I ended up taking this home. And driving on the highway, I was blown away at how smooth and quiet it is. So I was thinking, man, this thing is like an Autobahn SUV. It's really ready to rip on the highway. You might say I was cruising faster than I probably should have because it's
That's what it's
deceivingly
for,
fast.
my man.
Anyway, why did I choose the rears? The rears are the hard ones with the drums and everything. I'm crazy. Anyway, let's get on with it here. We are getting our first taste of that VW life in the form of requiring weird tools. This, my friends, is called a triple square drive tool set. And as you can see, this triple square pattern is an oddball. It's like a double Torx or a triple Allen or I don't know what.
Whatever it is, it's not in a standard toolkit.
It's not something we had kicking around, but luckily our buddy Nam down at Enviado had one. Holy smokes. Look at this thing. It's like a building a bridge bolt. Look at how long that thing is.
Oh, I guess that's a specialty bolt for you, right?
I guess it's gonna have plenty of thread engagement. We don't have to worry about that. So let's pull the other one out. But it looks like the brake line is kind of attached.
Yeah, it's a hard line, so there's gonna be a bracket that we're gonna have to loosen back there.
Oh yeah. And just like that, she is out. And you know what? You got a lot of meat left on those rear pads. Just
you're right.
Just no bite. This thing does not have much stopping power, but
well, the rotors don't look pretty good.
The rotors are pretty rusty. Fair bit of a lip on them, which is a decent indicator that they're getting along in the tooth. Ow! I hope you're not planning to use this rotor again after I smashed it with a hammer, but it was already warped, so I guess there was no harm in.
They're donezo. Look at them, huh?
Giving her a beating. Yeah, just popped the Stoptech street pads in here, and we noticed on the side there's actually like wear indicators. It says replace, and then there's like a bunch of bars here. So it looks like you're really only supposed to use about half of the pad thickness before you are done. And that does make sense when you look at the wear indicators over here. They're really only about half the thickness of the pad material. So for whatever reason, they don't want you using more than than half the pad thickness. That might be because of the 4-piston caliper design, like how much the pistons can be pushed out before they start to, like, you know, bind or something like that. So anyway, interesting to see that. I've never seen a wear indicator on the side of a pad like that before. So all right, the brakes are done, and that means it's time to move on to installing the wheel studs. As you can see, we have double nutted this stud so that we can torque it in place here. It's supposed to be torqued down to 31 foot-pounds. Putting a little thread lock on here as per Rennline's recommendations. Okay, let's torque this thing down, and then we can finally move on to the front. All right, there it is, torqued down. I think that's officially a wrap on this side, PT. What do you think?
It is, and admire that look.
Woo!
Wow.
Fresh and clean.
It is looking fresh and clean.
I think it's, you got the e-brake on so that we could torque those down,
Yep.
didn't you? I was going to try to spin it and show everyone that free movement, but that ain't happening. All right, let's move freely up to the front.
It looks like our pads are actually in pretty decent shape on the front here. Same with our rotors. They're not terrible. They look a little bit glazed, which may have been the issue that we were dealing with in terms of initial bite or whatnot, or they might have just been cheap pads. Who knows? Anyways, I've done a good job anti-seizing everything after seeing you struggle up there, DP.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put this Stoptech Sport rotor on. These are 330 mil, by the way.
Big boy brakes.
Which are very big boy brakes. But that's what we need to get this thing towing and stopping very well. Now it's going to be putting the brake caliper back in. Just a quick little note, these have hard lines, so you need to remove this whole entire assembly here, which included unplugging one of the, I think, ABS sensors that's on the backside. But overall, I think it was a pretty simple job. I'm not going to complain too much. There's all these brake pad wear sensors. I know these people say you got to replace them, and I think I might have cracked mine. So that's also something you may want to consider. However, I'm going to bolt this back in place, get this on, and then we could admire the front here. Just like that, we've got our new Stoptech rotors, sport pads, and our Rennline wheel studs. I'm really loving the look of these, DP.
They do look good.
Man, they look real good.
That's some motorsport grade gear on there, buddy.
I know, and they're gonna look pretty nice when I get some proper wheels on here, not these stalkers with winners on there. Like they kind of look pretty neat right now, just poking out like that. But when you get some proper wheels, those studs are gonna look real good. Anyways, we are gonna do the other side, and then it is time for a test drive to see if this upgrade works for us. It's a couple days later, DP. I've let these brakes bed in, and I've got to say, the difference is, you ready for it?
I'm ready. Oh, wow. Yeah, man. That put me in my belt pretty hard.
Yeah.
On wet roads, too.
Yeah, and the initial bite, like, feel that?
Yeah.
It's so much nicer. Before, it kind of just had that, like, lazy...
mushy,
exactly, yeah. So I think it's a wonderful improvement over what we had before. I'm extremely happy with it, and now I'm not going to be worried about tailgating people on the highway, you know?
Well, they're just talking about a new law in Ontario where you're going to be legally allowed to tailgate.
No way!
What kind of a law is that?
You know what? To tangent here, that's a good law because there's so many left lane bandits.
Yeah, maybe that's what it's about.
The Sunday cruisers, so I want to be able to flash them, but I don't think that's good etiquette, so to tell people to get out of the way.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's a whole different ball game, but I think I've got fantastic brakes. I've got to, once again, thank Stoptech. They do make an excellent product, and I'm very, very happy with it, especially for the street, right? Like we're used to running a lot of track stuff where there is a bit of a compromise. I think these are the perfect street pad.
You're not getting that noise from
no, nothing like that. So yeah,
that's great, man.
Yeah,
exciting.
I think that means this is a wrap. That's it. We're done.
So the next update will be when either something exciting or tragic happens. One or the other.
You know what? The exciting thing is going to happen. I think I'm gonna do the stage 2 Malone tuning update next. I'm kind of getting tired of the stockness of this vehicle. I want to see what an extra, I think it's 100 foot-pounds of torque, almost around there.
Impressive.
So we're gonna see that next. So as always, thank you so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. If you're liking this Touareg series, by all means, hit the thumbs up button. Make sure to subscribe and check out speedacademy.shop because we have some new merchandise up there that's all in stock and ready to go.
Oh, look at that, Brembo. Look at that, everyone. This is legit. This is an Autobahn burner. Brembo right on that caliper. Just throw some red paint on here, PT.
I know, wow.
You got yourself a Porsche.